What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is a 2024 Lexus TX 350, and I'm super excited today because I've been waiting for this vehicle for quite a while. Of course, this is a luxury sibling of a Toyota Grand Highlander, and I've already done a few of those on my channel, so if you want to see off what this is all about, definitely check out the links that I'm going to put at the end of this video. And today, thanks to Lexus of Sarasota, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle and see if it's worth paying $11,000 more from base to base, from the Toyota Grand Highlander to the Lexus TX, and see what we get for the price tag. So if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing, and now let's get back to this. So here it is, guys. This is a brand new 2024 Lexus TX. Now, what I have for you today is a base trim level. Starts at about $55,000. This is what this vehicle is. It doesn't really have anything added to it. So let's see what we get as a standard equipment on it. So you can see you have the bi-LED headlamps with the daytime running lights right on top. So you won't get that with the base Grand Highlander. You have to step up to the limited model. You also have the set of fog lights. Again, part of the limited trim. So I think that the limited and this base trim level is going to have a lot more in common than in the XLE and the Grand Highlander. But let's take a look at the design. So it has a very unique grille, very different than what we've seen on Lexus before. It's kind of unified with the rest of the bumper, if you will, kind of built in here. It's the same color as the rest of the vehicle, which in this case is the Cloudburst Gray. And you have this trim piece, that's this polished aluminum trim piece. You have the big Lexus logo right on the hood. The hood is nice, big, and wide. And let's see what we have underneath it. Well, let's see how it opens and see if we have the hood struts, and yes, we do. So another big difference, no prop sticks in here. We have the hood struts right on top, but it's powered up by essentially the same engine as on the base Grand Highlander, which is a 2.4 liter four-cylinder turbocharged engine, producing in this case 275 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque, which is more than on the Grand Highlander. But this vehicle uses a premium gasoline. Now, it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The engine is set nice and low for a better center of gravity and better driving dynamics. So I can't wait to take this for a spin at the end of this video. And as we go around the corner, you can see that the shape of this vehicle is very similar to the Grand Highlander, which is not a bad thing. I like the Grand Highlander shape, but it has some differences in here. So let's take a closer look. First of all, you can see that everything on this vehicle, even on this base trim, is color coordinated. There's no matte black cladding around the wheels and thing like this. You also have standard 20-inch rims on it, and I like this wheel design. I like the color of it, kind of this smoked aluminum color on the rims with a multi-spoke design. 255 by 55 is the size of the tires. You don't get the adaptive suspension on the base trim. I believe you have to go to the TX 500 in order to get some of the adaptive dampers in here. Let's take a look at the mirrors. So you have the chrome trim piece right here. You also have the built-in turn signal, no camera on this particular model. You have the blind spot assist, and as far as the window surrounds, top of the windows is covered in this satin chrome. You also have this low profile roof rails right on top, and everything else is blacked out. Now, what's different than the Grand Highlander is the door handle. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that door handle stays on the door. There's a little button. This is the electronic release. So it's definitely different. We've seen the same door handle on the new RXs and the NXs as well. And this is how it looks from the side. Pretty good. Let's move on to the back. And here in the back, it definitely looks more luxurious than the Grand Highlander. I love the light setup. I love the way that it looks. It's nice, simple, elegant. Everything is LED, and that includes, of course, your taillights. And look how this blade light kind of glows across the entire width of the vehicle. You have the Lexus spelled out, and going back to the lights, so you have the reverse lights, turn signals. Everything is LED in here. Then scrolling down, you have the reflector lights, and nothing else. No visible exhaust. TX 350 on one side. This particular one does not have a tow hitch, but if it did, it can tow up to 5,000 pounds, so no difference than on the Grand Highlander. You also have the exposed wiper here and the third LED light. And the top right here, the gate is power. So let's take a look. Now, you know, as far as the roominess, so on the outside, it is almost 2 inches longer. On the inside, however, it's minimal, but it's just slightly smaller than the Grand Highlander. Most of the people would probably not notice the difference. It is like 0.3 or 0.03 cubic feet smaller, but just about probably 19.7 as far as the total cargo room behind that third row seat. Still enough to put like a 7 carry-on suitcases in here, and you can, of course, you know, fold down the seats. Again, not my favorite design as far as this latch right here. I think those are maybe some problems in the future with this, but you can fold it down, fold down the seats. Of course, this is 50-50 right here, and then you can fold down the middle seats. That's 60-40 split. What I would like to see in the vehicle this size is some kind of a release for those seats right here from this rear compartment, especially if you're looking at the luxury trim. But let's take a look and see what we have in this third row seat. So you have the cup holders. You also have your USB type C ports, and this is it. This is what we have in here. Oh, one more thing to mention, you also have your own vents on top for the third row passengers, which is important. And right here you have this second floor, if you will. So you have the jack, you have the tools to remove the tire. The spare tire is underneath here. This is the compact tire, so you can change it if you'd like to. Or call roadside assistance. Now, this is what we have for cargo, and let's take a look what we have for passengers. Well, let's get inside of it, starting with this rear door and the panel right here, nicely dressed up in 2 different colors. So you have this light gray and black. This is nicely padded for the passenger. Put your arm down here. You have this new style of the door handle, so you just basically press it, it unlocks it, push the door out of the way. You also have your window and lock control in here, and in the back door you have this manual sunshade, keeps passengers from being blinded by the sun. And these are the seats. The seats are dressed in this new Lux material, which is basically a leatherette, man-made leather. Nice perforated and solid on the sides, feels very comfortable. And now in the middle right here you have the armrest with the cup holders, and both seats have the seat back pockets. You also have your climate control settings right in the back here, and 2 USB Type-C ports, as well as some more storage down here. Now you have a very slight bump in the middle, nothing that's going to obstruct you from sitting comfortably. And if you want to get into the third row seat, all you have to do is push this button. The seat will move away, and this is what we have as far as the third row seat. Let me jump inside and see if I can actually fit inside it. Here in the third row seat, I find myself fairly comfortable. You know, looking at the mid-size SUVs, this is probably one of the more adult-friendly seats. We've seen that on the Toyota Grand Highlander. So I have plenty of headroom, you know, unless I would bump my head right on the side here, but not a big deal here. 2 people can fit in comfortably. Now, let's see if I move the front seat back and see if I can fit behind me. Now the seat is folded back. Now if I move this forward, let's see how far can I move this. All right, yeah, well, that's about it. I mean, it's not bad at all, because considering right here you still have plenty of room. Now, you know, recline it just a little bit more maybe. Yeah, like this, it's gonna, yeah, smash my knees. But actually, if this person could give in about an inch, I would be comfortable. They would be fairly comfortable as well. Now, let me jump in the middle and see if that's the case. All right, so I'm in the second row seat. I didn't move it since I was in the third row seat. It is a little bit tight as far as my knees in here, but I can definitely fit in. So if push comes to shove, you know, 6 adults or 7 adults can fit in this vehicle if they have to. But if you have, you know, 4 adults, 3 kids, or whatever other combination there is, you're definitely going to be comfortable in it. You know, my preferred driving position would definitely be this. So let me just move it back. There you go. Nice and comfortable. Probably recline a little bit more. So all the way to the back. And this is how much room I'll have then for my knees. So this is with the seat all the way back. All right, I have plenty of room for my knees, plenty of room for my shoulder and my head, and the driver is nice and comfortable as well. So finally, let's see where the magic happens. But before we do that, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. Boom. Super solid. I gotta tell you, this is one thing that's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, with this door handle not actually moving from outside of the door. But let's take a look. The front door panel, just like the rear door panel, you have 2 colors, really nicely padded. This is very unique too. But looks pretty good. So you have the mirror window lock controls, you have the door release, you have tons of storage underneath here, and right here you have several adjustments for your seats. Now this is the 10-way power adjustments. On the higher end trims you get the 14-way, because then you get the lumbar and you get some massaging seats, but not on the base trim. Anyways, the front seat is profiled nice, so it's nice and comfortable in here. And then what you'll get also is tilt and telescoping steering wheel, which is power adjustment. And as you can see, there's tons of technology inside of this new TX 350. Let me jump inside and show it to you. And check it out, guys. This is 2024 Lexus TX 350 base model. This is the interior tour. Let's get it started right here. As far as the dashboard, you have this nice softer touch materials. You have the multi-tier dashboard, breaks it out, looks really, really good. You also have this kind of gunpowder metal trim running over here. I don't see an illumination as far as in the ambient lighting, but this is even nice and soft over here. And then, of course, you have your regular glove box. Now, as far as the head-up display, there is none on this base trim. Steering wheel, super nice to the touch. I don't know how Lexus does it, but every time I get into a Lexus, it just kind of feels so good. The steering wheel is superior. That's for sure. You have the pedal shifters right in the back here. You have a bunch of buttons on each side. On the right-hand side, most of it controls the cruise control. And you also have the mode for your media, as well as seek and track. On the other side, we can control what's going on in the instrument cluster. We'll go through it in just a second. You also have the back button, volume button, voice control, and the phone button. And here's the instrument cluster. It's all digital, and let's see what we have. So right on the left-hand side right here is where a lot of features can be changed. Right now it says no messages, but there will be if you're due for an oil change, anything like this. Here's your adaptive cruise control. Here's your media sources. So you have the Apple Music, Amazon Music, FM, AM, and Sirius XM. Moving to the next one, you have the compass, and here's your info screen. So basically you have your trip meter. Here's another one, distance to empty, eco indicator. You have your turbo boost settings over here, the G meter and gear position, and a blank one. So that's what you have in there. Now in the middle, you have the speed display as well as a tachometer. On top, you have the temperature and time, and on the side, you have the temperature and the fuel gauge. The vehicle's got 15 miles on it, and this is a very simple but very informative screen. I don't know if there's any ways of adjusting the way it looks, but we're going to take a look and see if there is a way of doing that in the infotainment system. So first of all, right here, this is where you start and stop the car, and now you have this huge screen, this 14-inch screen with the newest software. So hit English right here. We're not going to set it up. Yes, I'd like to cancel setup. And this is the newest Toyota system. Now you can subscribe to the cloud-based navigation system. You can use your wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay if you prefer that. You know, as far as the sources, again, we went through that, FM, AM, Sirius XM. You can connect your phone. As far as the settings in here, so there you go. So here's your drive modes. You have the sport drive mode, eco, and custom and normal. And if you move it to sport, the only difference is that the background slightly changes to the more sporty reddish color. And right here, so eco, more on the blue side, and normal, it's got no color whatsoever. I'm going to actually leave it in sport. And let's see what else we have. We have the driving assist. So here's your safety features: lane departure alert, blind spot safe exit assist, rear cross traffic alert, proactive driving assist, road sign assist, pre-collision system. And go back here, trip information, tire pressure, vehicle alert, and then general settings here, personal info, Bluetooth devices, tons of settings, tons of customization in here, Wi-Fi display, sound and media, vehicle customize, you know, as far as the illumination, all zones or by zone, door control, boarding and exit, custom drive mode. So we can actually change that from normal, sport, and eco. Same thing with the steering, sport and normal, and air conditioning, normal or eco. Now, as far as the suspension, there's no changes in the suspension. There's no adaptive suspension in here, but at least we get some customization on here. Again, this is a base trim level. The bottom portion here, that is your climate control, so you can see some shortcuts as far as the vent positioning, and you have the heated seats. We don't actually need that here in Florida right now. Heated steering wheel. Here's your climate concierge. You can turn that on. S-Flow Eco heat or cool, and de-icer, and close that off. And then again, so you have your dual zone climate control here, another zone for the rear, and you can switch that from front to rear, and you know, control what's going on back there, you know, adjustments for the fan settings. And this is pretty much it. You also have your power and volume knob. You have the front window defroster, or rear window defroster, and the fog light, or not the fog light, but the mirror defroster. I like the way that these vents are. Okay, they cover a very wide area here, and you can really adjust them nicely, you know, to blow on you as a driver or as a passenger. Turn them off. Then you have the USB Type-C. You have 3 of them. You have the wireless charging, and this new shifter, kind of more of a hybrid shifter. So this is not a hybrid vehicle, but this is how you turn it, kind of like in the Prius. So park it, then reverse neutral drive. You also have the manual mode. You have the brake hold. You can turn off that automatic start stop button, turn off your traction control, and engage the electronic parking brake. Now let's see, this can be removable, I think. It says lock or unlock. Yep, you can actually take that out if you want to, or you can put it back in to have your cup holders in there. So that's very unique. We didn't see that on the Grand Highlander. And as far as this, let's open it up. Yeah, actually just a regular opening here. A little bit of storage space in here, not bad at all. And then as far as the mirror, you have the HomeLink system that's built inside of it, LED lights, and you have the light control. Now this particular one does not have a moonroof, but pretty sure you can add it either as a separate feature or as part of the package. Illuminated mirrors. And this is this base trim of the TX 350. Let's see how it drives. So here we are, guys, about to take it for a spin, but as always, let's take a look and see what Lexus has to offer as far as the different trim levels and packages and pricing, of course. So the 2024 TX starts at $55,050, and this is what I have for you today. And if you wanted the all-wheel drive, you have to spend another $1,600 for an all-wheel drive. The premium model, which is going to give you that panoramic glass roof, heated ventilated front seats, power folding third row seat, is going to take you to $58,450. And the all-wheel drive is going to be at $60,050. TX 350 luxury, it's going to start at $60,950, and you're going to get the leather interior, heated second row outboard seats, and thematic ambient lighting. So you're going to have a little bit more luxury in that. $62,550 for the all-wheel drive. And then you're going to the Lexus 500H F Sport Performance. Now we're getting the new different engine in that one, so you're gonna get 366 net horsepower, F Sport Tune Adaptive Variable Suspension Direct 4 all-wheel drive system, and that's 69,350. And the top of the line is the TX 500 Sport Performance Luxury, 72,650. You'll get the Mark Levinson stereo, F Sport heated steering wheel, perforated leather, trimmed interior, etc. So a lot of features that you'll get on it. Now, how's it compared to the Grand Highlander? So the Grand Highlander starts at $43,000 for the XLE trim, and the top of the line, the Platinum Max, is at about $58,000. So definitely lots of choices, whether you want to get this trim, or maybe you can actually go up all the way to the Platinum trim at $55,000 on the Toyota, giving you a ton of equipment, maybe even an all-wheel drive for basically what you have here for the base trim. Now, is it worth it? Well, you know, you be the judge. You take one for a spin, take the other one for a spin. Quite frankly, you know, let's take it for on the road, and I'll be able to tell you my choice at the end of this video. We're gonna start this test drive portion with making a circle right here in this parking lot, and I have some painted parking spaces so I can actually reference to it and see how tight this turning radius is on this vehicle. So we're gonna make a circle, turn the wheel to the right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spots, 4 and just a little bit over. And you know, it's a good place to kind of see the suspension, or feel the suspension, I should say. And yeah, there's no question, this is a very soft vehicle. This is a soft suspension, kind of what we felt on the Grand Highlander. And let's do the off-the-line acceleration before we actually do it on the road as well. All right, let's we're in the sport mode. Yep, let's go. All right, well, we can't do much more than 30 in this parking lot, so I mean, it gets off. I mean, it's not the sports vehicle, it's not a sports utility, and it's definitely a base trim right here. And let's actually take it and see what we can do on the road itself. And here on the road, it feels very Lexus-like. It feels very quiet. I can see myself being like super relaxed in it. The seats are very comfortable. They're wide. And, you know, the suspension absorbs the bumps. It kind of floats you on it. Definitely plenty of room. I love the technology on it. We're going to check out the acceleration in just a little bit, but overall, it's a very relaxing feel. So if you like driving Lexuses, you're definitely going to feel at home right here on this TX 350. And even on this base trim TX, you feel like you're driving a luxury vehicle, so that's definitely a huge difference between this and the Grand Highlander. Now, there's also a huge difference in price, guys. I mean, it's $11,000 from the base to base. Now, you get a lot more features on the base Lexus than you get on the base to the Grand Highlander, so we can't really compare it. It's not apples to apples. But let's take a quick stop right here, and let's see how it accelerates. So let's go. And nice and smooth, got it up to about 60 miles per hour, and it's a smooth acceleration. It's definitely not gonna knock your socks off or anything like this, but it's gonna take you and merge you into traffic. There's no question in my mind. This is the sport mode right here. So yes, we could hear that engine. This is a 4-cylinder engine, turbocharged. There's no hybrid assist. I haven't test driven the hybrid engine on the TX 500. I have a feeling that this is gonna be much better, but it's also gonna be almost $20,000 more if you go for the top of the line trim. So 55 to 72, $17,000 difference. And I honestly, I don't know what I would choose. I think I think if it was me choosing a vehicle, I would go for the loaded Grand Highlander, maybe go even for that max hybrid on the Grand Highlander, on the limited version, and get that more powerful engine still at the same price as I would have to spend on this base trim level. Now, honestly, I mean, I like Lexuses. I like the way that they feel. I like the way they drive. I just don't think that this base trim offers so much more over that Grand Highlander to go for it for the price. Now you go for almost the top of the line Grand Highlander where you're looking at the price like $55,000. I think the 58 is where they end with that hybrid max platinum. $58,000 is going to give you pretty much everything. It's going to give you an all-wheel drive, Panamera sunroof. It's going to give you all the bells and whistles on the inside. So that would probably be my choice. If I didn't want to spend any more money than that, I'd probably go for the Grand Highlander with the bigger and more powerful engine, and still get pretty much all of the features. Maybe yes, I wouldn't get the Lexus badging, but you know, that's just me. But I would definitely encourage you to go to a dealership, take it for a spin, see how it drives, see what you feel, because there's definitely a difference in drive as well. You know, this one feels like a luxury vehicle, which I can tell that about the Toyota Grand Highlander, especially the two trims that I did, which was the XLE and the Limited. Now I can't wait to get my hands on that Platinum and see what that is, and maybe I'll give you a better comparison then. But so far, this, in my opinion, does not produce as much value for the money as I thought it would. Great vehicle though, no question about it. If you have a family, you need 7-seater, this is definitely a great alternative, especially if you're looking in the luxury market segment. I mean, you're starting with the GLEs right away. You're starting with the Mercedes at tens of thousands of dollars more. Same thing with the BMW and Audi. The most comparable to here would be the Acura MDX, and that is smaller, even though MDX have been redesigned in the last few years, but it's still smaller than this. It does have, however, the 6-cylinder engine. Same thing with the Infiniti. If you're looking at this QX60, I mean, you'll get the 6-cylinder engine in that. That's the luxury version of the Nissan Pathfinder, of course. So, I mean, there's choices, definitely. And this one would definitely be on the list to check out. And then I would like to hear your thoughts, guys. What do you think? Does it produce enough value to spend that much more money on the Lexus versus Toyota? Well, let me know in the comment section. And